to switch to the other line of argument about ethics, people will say, well, I feel all oogie about this situation, and I think something should happen, and I think that maybe the guys with the guns would be the right people to handle this. No. The guys with the guns aren't there to make you feel better. The issue which you're trying to cope with relates to ethics. Michael Vick's actions have been wholly unethical. And the reason for this is that he engaged in an action of sacrifice. He destroyed a greater value in order to achieve a lesser value. Now, I know society's always telling him that that's what he's supposed to do, so, if he does it, shouldn't he get a pass? No, because reality has consequences. Because of his engagement in dogfighting, and according to the allegations, engagement in gambling, if the gambling allegations hold, he will surely be suspended from the NFL. If Paul Hornung could be suspended for gambling, surely Michael Vick is going to get suspended for gambling. Now, by having acted unethically, other people choosing to act ethically in terms of preserving their own interest have reasons not to deal with Michael Vick. So the real consequences for Michael Vick will really relate to this unethical treatment. His standing within the NFL, his endorsement deals. I know that you might be thinking right now that it seems very unsatisfying to you that Michael Vick stands to lose tens of millions of dollars over this issue, regardless of the charges, and you would be, in my scenario, denied the satisfaction of a show trial and possibly seeing Michael Vick do some time in jail for not treating his property in a way that preserved its value. Too bad. Get over it. You don't have the right to destroy somebody else's life. To summarize these issues, let me relate it to the story Alex Haley told in his history of his family roots. You see, Roots dealt with the history of his ancestors that had been brought over unwillingly from Africa to be slaves and had gone through several successive generations of slavery where the rights of these actual human beings were violated horrifically. Now, one of the heroes from this story, a man who, born a slave, achieved his own freedom, accumulated property to liberate his family who were held in tyranny and fear under the Ku Klux Klan after the Civil War. Now, that heroic character that I'm referring to is Chicken George, who achieved these things as a cockfighter. Now, in the Roots story, we see actual human rights violations, and we see what many would consider mistreatment of animals. Now, when you read that story or see the miniseries, what is the important feature of that story? the cockfighting or the human beings and their rights. And today, in the case of Michael Vick, it's the same thing. The important thing about this story is not the dogfighting. The important thing is the rights of actual human beings, and in this case, Mike Vick. So that's why I will be writing to my member of Congress and my senators, asking them to pass legislation to abolish the statutes under which Mike Vick is being charged, because it is an injustice.